Hi everyone, my name is Andrew. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about the Leaf Twig razor. This razor is Leaf's version of the safety razor. It is a single blade razor that a lot of people turn to in order to limit the amount of waste that they're producing in their bathroom routines. However, this razor does work differently than what you might be used to. It shaves differently, it handles differently, it works differently, the maintenance is different. So I've got a lot of things packed into this review. I'm gonna start with the ratings and break those down, explain why I gave the Leaf razor the ratings that I did, and then I'm gonna talk about what I loved and the things that I didn't love, which I think will be really important if you're considering buying the Leaf Twig razor. So let's get started. For the ratings on the Leaf Twig razor, I gave it 17 out of 20 possible stars. I usually will score on somewhere around 5 categories, and the only category I didn't score on for this razor is appearance. In the function category, I gave the Leaf Twig razor 4 stars. Durability, I gave it 5 stars. Ease of use, I gave it 3 stars. And packaging, I gave it 5 stars. For the function category, I scored the razor 4 out of 5 possible stars. I deducted a star for 2 reasons. The first reason is because the razor didn't deliver as close of a shave as I wanted it to or I was expecting it to. And the second reason is that I did and have nicked myself a couple of times. And I'm gonna go into those because I have a whole section on what I didn't love about the razor. But for now, just know that those are the 2 reasons I deducted a star. But other than that, this razor shaves really well. It shaves buttery smooth, it doesn't get clogged, and I really enjoy the performance of this razor. For durability, I gave the razor 5 stars, and that's because the Leaf razor is very sturdy in the hand. It is very heavy. I've seen that on all of the reviews that I watched before I purchased the razor, and you just don't quite know what it feels like until you have it in your own hand. I think that this razor is gonna last me years and years to come. Leaf says the razors themselves will last you 6 to 10 shaves. So it's up to you to figure out exactly how long a razor blade is gonna last you, if it's gonna last you 6 shaves or if it's gonna last you 10. And keep in mind that that also varies based on how much of your body you're shaving at once. The next category I scored the Leaf Twig razor on is ease of use. I gave the Leaf Twig razor 3 stars out of 5 possible stars for this section, and I took away 2 stars for 2 different reasons. The first is the maintenance. There's a lot of maintenance that goes into the Leaf Twig razor, more than I'm used to with a cartridge razor. If you're familiar with safety razors, then it's probably a similar routine, but if you're not, then it's definitely more stuff that you're gonna have to add to upkeeping, something that you didn't have to upkeep before if you were using something disposable. The second reason I took a star away in this section is because the razor didn't seem to be very acne friendly. I have cystic acne and I've had it since I was in middle school. And so when I'm breaking out right now, the razor tends to nick certain areas where I'm breaking out. And it seemed like I really had to be aware and attentive to certain breakouts and which parts of my face were breaking out and kind of give those areas extra care and attention, which is something I wasn't used to. They're not deal breakers for me, but I do want to note them. And I'm again gonna go into more detail later. But I did want to note them as reasons why I took stars and things that you should also be aware of. For the packaging section, I gave the Leaf razor 5 stars. Here I have the Leaf razor package itself, and then I also ordered their shave soap and it came in a slightly different package. For the Leaf razor, it actually had a slip cover on this like book style packaging, and I lost that. But it opens like a book, and inside you'll find your razor body, and then you'll also find the razor blades in a little box on its own. The packaging feels very premium, it is recyclable, and I think overall it lends itself to a really nice experience. The Leaf Shave Soap is just tucked inside, and it is just a normal box. There's nothing else in it. It doesn't fold open. There's no slip cover. The soap is just sitting inside the box. And so this is a much more minimal box. It's much more simplistic. And I like that as well because this is more easily broken down and recycled for me. This one, once I thought about it, it was a lot of packaging, especially if you're used to like really, really zero waste products coming with absolutely almost zero packaging. This was a lot, and I think that was mainly because of safety, and you don't want razor blades coming through the mail, you don't want them getting loose or getting through the packaging. And so I think that yes, this was a little bit more packaging than what I was expecting, but I do think that this was all here for a reason. So those are the sections that I scored the Leaf razor on. Now let's move on to what I loved about the razor. The first thing that I love about the Leaf Twig razor is that it shaves so smooth. I've never used a razor that shaved as smooth as this one does. I shaved my calves, my thighs, my chest. I shaved what some of y'all might know as the bikini region. And then I, of course, shaved my neck and my face as well. And on every area, whether or not I had previously shaved or not, it cut so smooth. It didn't clog. The hair would just rinse right out of the razor. It was so nice, and I was really wowed by that. The other thing that I love about the Twig razor is how heavy it feels in your hands. I know I already mentioned that, but it gives it a seriously premium feel, and I really loved that about the razor. And then I of course love how zero waste the razor is, especially after the initial purchase. When you're buying blade refills, it's gonna be a really minimal packaging. You can even recycle the razor blades themselves, and you do have the option to purchase a razor blade tin from Leaf. You could also upcycle a glass container, a glass jar, and just keep the blades in there. You just want to make sure that the blades are safe and they're not easily accessible, especially if you have little ones or animals, because you want to collect a lot of blades and then send them back to Leaf for recycling. So now let's talk about things that I didn't love with the Leaf Twig razor. I'm really gonna elaborate on the points I brought up earlier, reasons why I took stars off. So let's start with the shave. The Leaf Twig didn't give as close of a shave as I was expecting. I was transitioning from a Gillette plastic cartridge razor, not the cheap disposable ones, but the ones where you keep the body of the razor blade or the razor and then you just replace the head. And that one gave me a little bit of a closer shave. With the Leaf Twig, I feel a little bit more prickly. The hair definitely feels longer than it does when I used the Gillette. Even when I was recording the B-roll for this video, after I did that shave, I went back over with the Gillette and it really does just get a closer shave. If you've used a safety razor before, you're familiar with it, then you might also want to consider the Twig Thorn. They just recently released that either January, maybe December of this past year, 2021. And that is supposed to get you a closer shave. I won't be switching to the Thorn Twig because of my concerns with the nicks and my concerns with my skin, but that might be something that you should consider if you really want a close shave, you're familiar with safety razors, and you don't have really textured or acne prone skin. The next thing that I didn't love about the Leaf Twig razor was that I was more likely to have Nixon cuts than I've ever had before. I've really never nicked myself or cut myself before, but I have with this razor. You have to use the Twig razor at a specific angle, and you're not supposed to apply pressure or push down at all, which that I was fine with. I was really concerned in the beginning that I was gonna mess that up and somehow hurt myself, but I didn't have any issues with that, except for specific parts of my body where you have to bring the razor and then also like curve because you're in kind of like a corner or a very specific kind of crevice, and that was a little bit challenging for me to navigate. I did nick myself there and that was pretty consistent, but other than that, it mainly had to do with breakouts. And so I just really don't love that about this particular razor. But again, it's not a deal breaker for me, and it's not something that happens every time I shave. This isn't something that I chalk up to the razor. I don't think that it's an issue or a fault with the razor itself, but it is just something that I wanted to bring up about my experience because there's only so much that you can do about acne, and a lot of you will have acne. You just have to find products that work with your skin type and your texture, and this just might not be the one for you if you have really heavy or a lot of breakouts all the time. The next thing that I don't love about the razor is the maintenance. After you order, Leaf is going to send you an email with their recommended maintenance. It has 3 things that you should do on a regular basis. The first thing they recommend that you do is when you're done shaving, rinse the parts of the razor. So that's going to be the body and then the razor blade. You have to unscrew the razor, take out the blade, rinse it, and then make sure that it's dry before you replace the blade into the razor. The next thing they recommend is a monthly cleaning of your razor. So for that, they recommend taking an old toothbrush head or something similar, putting a drop of dish soap on there, and then just brushing your razor so that it can help prevent tarnishing or mineral buildup that comes from your water. And then the last thing that they recommend is a deep clean. They don't recommend how often this should happen, but my guess it would be somewhere between 3 and 6 months on a regular basis. They say that you should use 1 part water and 1 part vinegar, soak the razor, and then dry it with a microfiber cloth. If you're looking to sanitize the razor, then you can also soak it in rubbing alcohol. That is kind of a lot of maintenance, especially if you're coming from a razor that you're used to just tossing in the trash can. Making sure that you stick to the maintenance that Leaf recommends is gonna also make sure that your razor lasts as long as it possibly can. And if you're looking to this razor in order to minimize or decrease the amount of waste you're producing, then you're also probably interested in making sure your products last as long as they can, because that's the most eco-friendly thing for you to do. That has the lowest environmental impact. For someone like me who will just kind of neglect the dishes in the dishwasher for a week at a time, adding stuff to my chore list isn't exactly something that I want to do, but I do it. And so again, it's up to you to decide if that's a deal breaker for you or not. For me, it's not. It's just not something that I really love about the razor. And then the last thing that I don't love about the Leaf razor, again, it has nothing to do specifically with Leaf or the Twig, but the fact that you have to disassemble the razor and then make sure that the blade is dry before you reload it into the razor. That means that there's gonna be some handling of a razor blade, or that you're gonna have a blade out. For me, I usually will just leave mine out on a towel. For others, that's not something that you can do. You have kids running around the house, you've got cats on the counter or other animals roaming the home, and having an open blade out isn't something that you can do. So you're gonna have to handle it. If you're not comfortable with either of those things, then this might not be the best razor for you. So now let's talk about how to use the razor. To start, you're gonna want to cleanse your face. You're then gonna wanna make sure that you have a really nice lather. I've been using the Leaf Shave soap. That's a very different experience than what you would get with an aerosolized can that you would just squirt out or spray. And I actually have it right here. I am no shaving expert. I watched plenty of videos on how to do this because I had no idea what I was doing. And you're gonna see that in the B-roll. So if you're out there and you know what you're doing, don't judge, just give me constructive criticism. But basically you just apply water, and I have this brush that is the brand Bevel. I got it from Target. You lather up the soap. I will take the puck out of here, and then I use the brush to apply the lather to my face. So this brush is used to work the lather up and then apply it to your face, which you can see in this video. And then the shave soap just works like a soap bar. I have seen and heard that you can lather the shave soap with your hands. I have not tried that yet, but you're also welcome to try that, because this is just another product that is added to your routine. These can last a really long time, provided you take care of them, but that's not the topic of this video, so I won't go into all that. And there are more people out there that have way more qualifications to speak on how to take care of a shave brush. But anyways, once you get your lather and you apply it to your skin, you're then gonna apply the razor at a 30-degree angle. And then you're just gonna take the razor across your skin, and you're not gonna push. The razor is heavy, and you basically just wanna let gravity do all the work. It sounds very foreign if you're coming over from a cartridge razor or a disposable razor, but trust me, that is exactly how it works. You just let the razor do all the heavy lifting. You're just there to guide it. Don't push, or you will increase your chances of cutting yourself. If you want a closer shave, Leaf says that you can go against the grain after the first initial shave. I've never seen that recommended, and I've actually seen people recommend against that. So again, that's just something up to you. If you want to experiment with that, then go right ahead. I have the full page that Leaf provides to the shaving process, maintenance, and all that other information is going to be down in the description below. So if you want to see their resources for the razor, then go ahead and check those out in the description. In terms of what Leaf offers, they have a Leaf razor, that's their flagship 3-blade razor. They have the Leaf Twig and then the Leaf Twig Thorn. I have only tried the Leaf Twig, but for each of their razors, they also offer additional accessories. They have things like stands, traveling cases. the recycling tin that we talked about, the replaceable blades, and they have a bunch of different colors for each razor as well. So there's plenty for you if this is the razor that you decide you want to go with. When I first purchased the razor, I only bought the razor, the shave soap, and then the tin for the blades that you can recycle them in. I thought that the stand in the traveling case would be unnecessary, but after the 3 or 4 months that I've been using this, I definitely think that it's something I should have added in the beginning. I think the stand is great because this has to air dry, and otherwise this is laying down, it's standing up, I'm knocking it over. I think that the stand will just lend to a better experience because I leave this out so much to air dry. And then for the traveling case, I don't really have anything to put this in because this is a blade, and usually disposable razors come with a plastic cover, or they'll come with something to cover the cartridge that's, again, plastic and indisposable. This one didn't really come with that, and so that's going to help me travel with this. I've traveled with this. I feel like I'm dueling the blade when I travel with it if I'm not putting it in something that's going to avoid touching the blade, and so I just think that was really something that I initially didn't think I was going to need, and it turns out I do. Before I move on to the cost comparison section of this video, I wanted to take a second and ask that you like this video if you're finding it helpful. Leave any comments if you have questions about the razor itself, about my experience with the razor, and subscribe if you'd like to see more videos like this. All of those things support my channel so that I can continue to make content like this. Now, for the cost comparison. If you want to see all the details and all the numbers and calculations that went into this process, go ahead and visit the blog post link in the description. That's going to give you the details that you might be looking for. Otherwise, I'm just going to kind of cover the basics here. The Leaf Twig razor itself cost $59. The razor blades themselves, the 50 blade pack, cost $12. That gives you a subtotal of 71 bucks. The razor that I chose to compare to the Leaf Twig is the Gillette Fusion 5 men's razor, available on Walmart online. That's where I got those prices. The razor itself cost $11.97. The first refill pack that I'm using to get comparison numbers cost $14.97, and the second refill pack cost $33.97. That gives you a subtotal of $26.94 for the first refill pack with Gillette and $45.94 with the second refill pack from Gillette. Now, the leaf blades themselves can be used between 6 and 10 shaves. For the calculations in this table, I just used the number 6, and then for Gillette, I used the number 5. That gives us a total of 330 shaves with the leaf razor at the subtotal of $71, and then 30 shaves for the Gillette razor, up to 70 shaves for the larger refill pack. After some division, that means that each shave with the leaf razor is going to cost you 22 cents. The first Gillette group comparison is going to cost you 90 cents per shave, and the second is going to cost you 66 cents per shave. In order to get the 330 shaves that the Leaf Twig will give you with the 5 razors that it comes with, and then the 50 blade refill pack, you would have to spend $218 on one of the Gillette options to get 333 shaves. That's a difference of about $146. If you're an everyday shaver, that $146 is savings that you reach in your first year with the Leaf Twig. If you're not an everyday shaver, even after 2 to 3 years, $146 of shavings is no small number. So even though the $71 upfront cost seems really high, or it's gonna be higher if you add the shave soap, if you add the stand and the travel case, it's gonna be approaching $100 to even more. This razor can last you years and years, and that savings can continue to grow the longer you have this razor. That makes the Leaf razor a really even affordable option, and similar in other sustainable areas. It's a product that it's going to cost you a lot up front, but it's going to last you a lot longer than the other products on the market, and you're going to have a lower environmental footprint. And then to finish out this video, what makes Leaf Twig a sustainable razor? If I wasn't already clear enough, it's just the fact that it is plastic free, and then the amount of waste coming from this razor is marginal compared to cartridge razors with the plastic packaging, the plastic covers, disposable covers, the plastic packaging that the refills come in, like with inside the container that you grab from the store. There's just so much waste attached to those razors compared to the Leaf razor that has recyclable packaging, compostable packaging, recyclable blades, and a body that's going to last you years and years if you treat it right. This is just so much better for the environment and so much more sustainable in the long run. If you're interested in other products that are going to help decrease waste in the bathroom, check out this video on Blue Land's foaming hand soap. I love Blue Lands foaming hand soap. In this video, I go through the review process in a similar structure, similar layout, but I also go through starting the first hand soap. So taking the tablet from the packet, putting it in the water, how much water to put in, how long to wait at the very end of the video. So definitely check that video out. I'll see y'all next time.